If you are seeing this video, please don't like, don't comment, don't share. There's a reason for it. And please stay to the end of this video so you can know the reason why I said you should not comment, you should not share, you should not like. This video is not to cause violence or to cause problem, but this video is about what has happened, what will happen, all together in one. This is a story about a country called Nigeria. Before it started, how it started, and how it might possibly end. I'll make it as snappy as I can. In the late 1880s, which is around 1885 or 1886, thereby, some crazy people, some crazy Western men came together to divide a continent called Africa. See, if I'm putting these things, I'm not going to mention some names. You have to put you have to know history to put the actual name where it's supposed to be. It's going to be very skeptical, this video. So let me tell you beforehand. Some crazy people, some crazy Western people came together to have a conference called the Berlin Conference to discuss about a particular continent. And the continent, nobody was there to represent them. And then, as it might be, before the 1885, 1886, there was somebody called George who started a company in the Niger Basin. His name, George. The name of the company was United African Company. So, when these people did their meeting, they ended up dividing Africa among themselves. And after dividing Africa among themselves, what did they do next? They decided to go and start conquering and start going inside Africa to reclaim their loot, their shares. Now, as it may be, although they've been loitering around in Africa before the 1886 or the 1885 Berlin Conference, what they did now was the British people got Africa. So when they got Africa, when they got Nigeria, when the British people was one that got Nigeria. So when they got Nigeria, what they did was they went to George Godey, I think, and bought the right to trade from George Godey for £865,000, which is, if you look at it another way, they bought the right to trade, which is buying the country. Before they even joined it together, they started buying piece by piece. So they bought the right to trade from George Godey, and then, because George Godey started it in 1879, I think in 1883 was when they bought the United African Company from George Godey. So the right to trade. So they're busy buying Nigeria piece by piece. Before then, there was this tribe. They were busy resisting the British with everything they got, all their might and power. They were resisting the British. They called them the Eastern region, the Anyoma region. They are different territories. There was no Nigeria. What we had was the Niger Basin and other different territories doing business around the Niger Basin. So now, what they did was they tried to start coming in gradually to take over the whole thing. But before then, there was this group in the Anumak land, which is the eastern land of present Nigeria. They fought and resisted the British, and then they named the war Ekumeku War. Then later on, the British started looking for how to dominate. What they used was divide. They used an indirect rule. Indirect rule is what they used to come and take over the whole place after they bought the right. So they went to this beautiful tribe in the north. They met a tribe there. When they went to the north, they met a tribe. Very beautiful souls. They had their own custom and traditions, but there was a problem. The people they met had already been conquered by a particular nomadic tribe, which is, I call them the Fulanese. They conquered the original Hausa people. And then they were ruling the Hausa people. Usman Dan Fodio was a Fulani man. He brought Islam to the north. And thereby, when the British came to the north, it was easy to use indirect rule. They met with the caliphates, the people who were there, the Fulanis who were already heading the Hausa people. And it was very, very easy. They got whatever they wanted. It was nice. Then they migrated themselves again to the south west. It's like the tribe in the southwest, the Yoruba people, they came. It worked, but it didn't work very well. They had the Obas, they had the Alaafin. So what did they do? They lobbied the Obas, got them to be under them, and they took power indirectly. Although it wasn't as perfect as the northern side. But when the problem was when they went to the eastern side, the Anioma kingdom, there was a problem. There was a very deep battle. They battled with the Anioma people because when they landed in the eastern region properly, it was I think 1902 when they came. And then they started the war. They tried their best. They came with machine and came, and then what they did was total annihilation, and then was able to break down the spirit of the Kumeku warriors. And finally, after 30 something years of war with the Kumeku warriors, 1914, it all ended. The Kumeku warriors were conquered, and then they formed something called the amalgamation. They brought the whole territories together, and then they named it Nigeria, 1914. What else? They stayed in power. They stayed, they did everything they need to do. But the problem is this: why they were in power? The only thing they had in the east, because the indirect rule wasn't working properly, they had what they call warrant chiefs, people who collect taxes from them and then remit it to the queen. Around 1929 to 1930, there was a war. The warrant chiefs became corrupt. They were having issues. They were taxing the men, and then they want to start taxing the women. Then the women revolted and they say, "No, you can't tax us while you're taxing our husbands." And then there was something called the Aba Women Uprising, or I'll call them the Aba Women Protest. But although some crazy people call it Aba Women Riot, which is not supposed to be. After that, they stayed for some time. Other things happened. There was other killings too around the country. And then 1945, something happened. Second World War. 1944, 1945, Second World War. The British fought. They came here, took some soldiers. Because even if you check the amalgamation in 1914, the First World War came and they needed soldiers. They called them the Queen Regiment. And I know most of them must have fought the First World War. The Second World War came. The British fought. They fought. But the other thing is that the British did not lose. What they lose was they lost their colonies. A lot of people started declaring independent. Nigeria did. We declared independent. We said we started looking for our independence, and in 1960, they gave it to us. So they gave it to us. Then, along the line, something has happened. In 1966, January, there was a coup. The coup that contained almost everybody from the whole tribe. But due to the commander was from a particular tribe that they do not love so much, they named the coup an Igbo coup. That coup contained a lot of about 14 people did it. Contained six Yoruba people, 6 soldiers from the southwest, 2 or 3 from the southeast. It had 1 middle belt, had 1 Tifi, about 3 Hausas was there. 1 Fulani was there too. So, but in the end, it was named an Igbo coup. So, it became a problem. There was a counter coup. And after the counter coup, the whole thing started going to downslope from there. What happened next? A particular region rose up and said they want to declare their own country. They want to secede. They want to go away. They want to secede from the Nigeria itself. Because what I don't came to understand is 1914, when everything was mashed together. Then later on, when they have left, when they've given you your independence, what are we still together for? Why are we still together? Why are we still together? But no, a particular region wanted to secede and they said, no. Nigeria said, no, you cannot secede. You have to be here together with us. And then there was a war. A war that lasted for almost 3 years. About 3 million people died. And then, let's keep coming up. After the war, the whole people from that region that had their money in the bank all the money was seized by the federal government of Nigeria, and then they were given £20 each. Fast forward to this day, the £20 have become in billions, millions. A lot of those people from that region are rich, super rich. Billionaires are there. Movers and shakers of the country are from there too. Now, the worst part is this. After the war, they've banned that particular tribe from ever ruling Nigeria again. In 2023, we saw that firsthand. Someone from that tribe actually did win the election, but it was snatched. And they told him to go to court. And then the judicial system put the final nail to the coffin, and he lost the election. There was no justice. Now, Somebody else rose for secession, and he said he wants to secede because of injustice again from the same region, and they jailed him. They locked him up. They locked him up. He wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one who was making noise to secede. Someone else was from Southwest, a very flamboyant, able-bodied young man too, was trying to secede. He was trying to raise up his own Oduduwa nation. Why the other one was trying to raise Nnamdi Kanu was trying to raise Biafra. Then the Oduduwa nation guy had issue. He was detained in Benin Republic while trying to leave the country. They tried their best to bring him back, but Power There Be refused them bringing him back. But the one that actually tried to secede, that was fighting for Biafra, was actually kidnapped from another African country and brought back to Nigeria here overnight. And ever since then, he's been locked up. Now, the funniest thing is, every time they are bringing up new charges, the Supreme Court have discharged him, the Court of Appeal has discharged him and freed him, yet the powers that be refuse to free him. Now, let's talk about the future of Nigeria. Let us not get it twisted. I love this country. Everybody does love this country. Although some of us are not patriotic, but the country is the only one we have. We have to just stay with it. It's no longer 1967. This is the only country we have. This message is to some people who think the powers that be. This is the only country we have. A lot of people are waiting to see this country fall, so they will tear it down. Finish. A lot of Western powers are just waiting for this country to crumble so they can tear. And this country is holding the whole of Africa together. This is the giant of Africa. And some people are forgetting that this is no longer 1967. The particular tribe that fought with sticks and stones can now afford bombs. They can afford all kind of ammunitions. They can afford a lot of things right now. It's no longer 1967. So, why not just let this man go? Give him terms and conditions. Let him go. The one who fought for Oduduwa is resting in his house. Some people fought for Arawa. They've stayed in their house. They've stopped. But this one is being held down for a long time. I love this country. A lot of people love this country. This is the only country we have. Because by holding him down, this is the prognosis, the future. If something thereby just happen to him, the country will burn. The country will be having a lot of things. A lot of things will go wrong if we don't get it right now. Just let him go. And as for there's a particular tribe from this south, the tribe from the southwest that are busy saying a particular tribe should pack their things and go. There's a message for you. You did not give when they came, when the particular tribe migrated to this side, to the southwest here, the lands they bought it, the houses they built it with their money. If you want them to go, buy it back from them. If you say go, if you say leave our land, buy it back from them. Let them tell you how much they will sell their land. Then you buy it back from them, and then they can go. But you can't just tell people who invested their money and life and savings into a particular region and you tell them to pack and go. It's not going to work. If you want them to go, ask them how much they are willing to sell their properties and then you buy it back. And when you buy it back and then they are still here, you have every right to drive them out. That is the solution to it. We need to start reasoning like a country that we are, because one, this is the only country we have, and this country has a lot of enemies. There are other small African countries that are looking for it to fall. There are a lot of big ones, Western powers waiting for it to fall, because this country holds the African unity. This country holds Africa together. If this country burns, Africa burns. So please, powers that be, let him go. Find him. Put him under condition. Put him under house arrest. Put him under something. Just let him go. This is the only country we have. Before things get out of hand. We don't want to risk another war. Because I'm telling you, the tribe that fought with sticks and stones, they can afford ammunition right now. They can afford any kind of nuclear, whatever there is, they can afford it right now. They are no longer the people you gave 20 pounds. They have grown. The band you are holding down is representing a particular region that have millions and billions in their account and can use that at any point in time. Let's think wisely before things go. Like I said, if you see this video, just listen to the message and just pass. Don't comment, don't share, don't like. Just go away. Just listen attentively. Once you're done, if there's any mistake in it, put it in comments. Don't even comment. Just carry it in your head and just go away. Okay? Don't comment, don't share, don't like. Please, just listen to the message and go away. You can just download it and pass it to the next person. Thank you. This is one country we have. I love my country. Let's don't let it go away. For now, this is the only thing I have. It's the only thing everybody has. Thank you.